With the dawn of the century, African ministers of finance realized the need to set up an institution that could provide legal assistance to African countries. In response, hosted by the African Development Bank, the African Legal Support Facility was established in 2008. Its mission: to provide legal advice and technical assistance in negotiation of complex commercial transactions and creditor litigation, to develop and maintain related knowledge resources and publications, to encourage countries and investors to conclude equitable, bankable, and sustainable agreements that deliver value to African countries while protecting their sovereign rights. At the core of who we are lies compliance with the best international practices in corporate governance. The Director and Chief Executive Officer reports to the Management Board, appointed by the Governing Council, which is the supreme body of the ALSF. In its first decade of existence, the ALSF approved over $100 million for almost 300 operations in more than 50 countries. On average, demand for its services has increased by 35% each year. Today, the ALSF has 60 members and remains by definition open to all African countries. The growing membership, the increasing and widespread demand for its services, and the recent endorsement to extend the facility's initially foreseen lifetime manifest the rising importance of its support.
They have achieved their missions with dignity and poise, the credibility that they bring into the whole system. I think no one will ever doubt the continuity of ALSF.
I am 100% sure that both partnership and development-wise, in terms of now the benefits, as well as the negotiating good contracts in a mutual way is concerned, this facility is the best thing that Africa ever had.
The involvement of the ALSF has become synonymous with high-quality transactions, objectivity, propriety, and inclusiveness that engender trust and promote social cohesion and development. The achievements resulting from facilities' interventions include savings and revenues for governments, increase of private sector investment, 50% litigation cases won against voucher funds, which before won nearly all cases against African countries, 57 contract negotiations that achieved greater benefits for host countries, almost 230,000 direct and indirect jobs created, over 10,000 African legal professional and government officials trained on negotiation of complex commercial transactions and creditor litigations. The Nachtigal Hydro Dam in Cameroon and the Tiaba Ndiaye wind farm in Senegal, two power projects supported by the ALSF, were recognized respectively as African Power Sector and Wind African Transactions of the Year by the 2018 IJ Global Awards. Combined, they represent an increase of 570 megawatts in generation capacity of clean, reliable power at competitive tariffs to support industrial expansion, job creation, and economic growth, especially for local communities. But the history of ALSF's first 10 years is told by many more stories of success. Assisting the Somali government in the negotiations with Paris Club creditors that resulted in Somalia receiving $1.4 billion debt relief, approximately 67% of the country's Paris Club debt. Supporting the government of Uganda to develop an oil refinery project framework agreement, putting an end to a series of inconclusive negotiations and enabling a project build to double the Hoima district facility capacity. Assisting the government of Rwanda to draft and negotiate project development, joint venture and concession agreements for the development of the Bugesera International Airport, positioning Kigali to become a nerve center for business and travel in the sub-region.
Nous lançons un appel à ces pays-là pour que ces pays puissent adhérer massivement, ceux qui n'ont pas encore signé, de signer le traité, ceux qui ont signé mais qui n'ont pas encore ratifié, de ratifier ces traités pour bénéficier des avantages et de l'assistance juridique de la facilité.
Chez nous en Afrique, en tout cas, c'est l'outil idéal pour l'instant parce que d'abord, c'est notre, il faudrait qu'on le s'approprie.
You know, I call them the guardian angels.
Looking ahead, the ALSF will play a vital role to ensure the recovery efforts from the effects of COVID-19. The facility will continue to move fast to provide flexible responses aimed at reducing the severe economic and social impact of the pandemic, and to walk side by side with African governments and organizations as they develop post-COVID mitigation and recovery strategies.
The facility now looks towards the future. We start preparing a new medium-term strategy for the next phase, and we are looking at building on the successes of the facility.
The sustainable, fair, developed Africa we aim for lies ahead of us. Future is in the making.